Gertrude Caroline Ederle was an American competition swimmer, Olympic champion, and world record holder in 5 events. On August 6, 1926, she became the first woman to swim across the English Channel. Among other nicknames, the press sometimes called her Queen of the Waves. Early life, amateur career. Gertrude Ederle was born on October 23, 1905 in New York City to a German immigrant family that owned a butcher shop. She grew up in Manhattan and learned to swim in Highlands, New Jersey. Her father taught her to swim in a river when she was 9 by tying a rope around her waist. The doctors told her that her hearing would get worse if she continued swimming, but she loved the water so much that she just couldn't stop. Ederle dropped out of school in her early teens to train as a swimmer year-round. The family support was tremendous, especially from her father. Ederle trained at the Women's Swimming Association. Ederle joined the club when she was only 12 and immediately took to learning the American crawl. The same year, she set her first world record in the 880-yard freestyle, becoming the youngest world record holder in swimming. At the 1924 Summer Olympics in Paris, Ederle won a gold medal as a member of the first-place US team in the 4x100-meter freestyle relay. Together with her American relay teammates, she set a new world record of 4 minutes, 84 seconds and 8 milliseconds in the event final. Individually, she received bronze medals for finishing third in the women's 100-meter freestyle and women's 400-meter freestyle races. Professional career. In 1925, Ederle turned professional. The same year, she swam the 22 miles or 35 kilometers in New York Bay from Battery Park to Sandy Hook in 7 hours and 11 minutes, a record time which stood for 81 years. Ederle's nephew Bob later described his aunt's swim as a midnight frolic and a warm-up for her later swim across the English Channel. English Channel crossing. The English Channel is the body of water separating England and France, and the 33 kilometers or 20.5 miles swim across it is the world's most historically significant and iconic marathon swim. In 1925, the Women's Swimming Association sponsored Helen Wainwright and Ederle for an attempt at swimming across the English Channel. Helen Wainwright cancelled due to an injury, so Ederle decided to go to France on her own. She trained with Jabez Wolfe, a swimmer who had attempted to swim the English Channel 22 times. On August 18, 1925, Ederle made her first attempt at swimming the channel, but this attempt didn't succeed due to the disagreement that arose between them. She returned to New York and began training with coach Bill Burgess, who had successfully swum the channel in 1911. Ederle also received a contract from both the New York Daily News and Chicago Tribune, which paid her expenses and provided her with a modest salary. Approximately 1 year after her first attempt, she was successful in swimming the channel. She started at Cape Grisnez in France at 7:08 a.m. on August 6, 1926. She covered herself with grease to protect against the cold water and jellyfish stings. 2 tugboats kept pace, one carrying her family and fans, the other reporters from a newspaper which sponsored the swim. When she was getting some food, she would rest on her back. She would have broth, sugar cubes, and chocolate. The people on the boat began singing to her. There was nothing that was gonna stop her this time. 14 hours and 39 minutes later, 20-year-old Gertrude Ederle arrived on the British shore. She wasn't only the first woman to swim the English Channel, but she beat the existing men's record by 2 hours. The first person to greet her was a British immigration officer, who requested a passport from her. Her record stood until Florence Chadwick swam the channel in 1950 in 13 hours and 23 minutes. Before Ederle, only 5 men had completed the swim across the English Channel with the best time of 16 hours 33 minutes by Enrique Tirabacci. When Ederle returned home, she was greeted with a ticker tape parade in Manhattan, with more than 2 million people along the parade route to cheer her. Later career. She retired from the sport in 1928 at the age of 22. She played herself in the movie Swim Girl Swim and toured the vaudeville circuit. She met President Coolidge and had a song and a dance step named for her. Ederle's career in vaudeville wasn't a huge financial success. The Great Depression also diminished her financial rewards. A fall down the steps of her apartment building in 1933 twisted her spine and left her bedridden for several years. But she recovered well enough to appear at the 1939 New York World's Fair. End of life, death. Ederle had poor hearing since childhood due to measles, and by the 1940s she was almost completely deaf. Aside from her time in vaudeville, she taught swimming to deaf children. She never married and she was living in an old people's home in 2001. She died on November 30, 2003 in Wyckoff, New Jersey. She was buried in the Woodlawn Cemetery in the Bronx, New York City. People said women couldn't swim the channel, but I proved they could. These words belong to Gertrude Ederle. Thanks for watching the video until the end. I invite you to click the like button, share the video, subscribe to my channel. And you can easily find and watch my other videos and really enjoy them. Don't forget to click on the notification icon. Please write your interesting comments. I would be really happy to read them. By clicking the end screen, you can watch that video too. Bye!